The worst part was her explaining how it's not a pyramid scheme because those are illegal. She ended up selling policies to some of the poorer kids' parents and hooked the kids to sell once they turned 18. Ah! Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. I am doing great. Thanks so much for asking. I appreciate it. I love you all too. And so today we are going to be looking at this lovely HuffPost article. Now, just a little disclaimer, I'm not usually into HuffPost. It's not my favorite publication in the world. I'll just leave that up to you to decide why. However, they have this amazing article that is 10 horror stories that prove MLM companies are complete trash. Former reps and clients share tales of faulty products, predatory practices, and money they'll never make back. It's by Casey Bond, and it's from October 22nd, 2019, so it's not like the oldest one in the world. However, I thought we should just take a little look at it today, because it would be a lot of, fun, but it would also be necessary to get this information out into the world because, as we all know, the Hunbots are always like, my company is awesome, MLMs are so great. So here are 10 horror stories about them that prove that they're trash. Stay tuned if you're into that.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Beth, or Queen of Spade. Please do give this video a like, subscribe if you're new here. Now, without further ado, let's throw some spade.
Alright, so without further ado, like I said, let's just get into this. Multi-level marketing companies, or MLMs, as they're commonly known, have been around since the days of Avon and Tupperware. I did a video on Avon, the history of Avon, everything to do with Avon, check that out. Today there are hundreds of companies that recruit consultants to sell everything from health products to cosmetics to clothing. But despite how the industry has evolved, one thing's remained the same. They're a nightmare for almost everyone involved. MLMs all follow a pyramid structure in which the people at the top, known as uplines, make tons of money off the sales commissions of the people they've recruited to work underneath them, their downlines. In fact, these businesses rely heavily on recruiting new members who are mostly women, targeting stay-at-home moms, military wives, and others under the guise of financial empowerment. And I actually also just did an episode of The Manipulation of a Hunbot in which we discussed how stay-at-home moms and especially military wives are targeted by MLMs. Success rates are minuscule. It's estimated between 73% and 99% of participants either don't make any money or lose money. Some wise up and quit while they're ahead, but thanks to the cult-like nature of MLMs, which I also have done episodes on the bite model, many remain convinced that they'll be successful someday and relentlessly pursue friends, family, and acquaintances with pitches for their products. Ultimately, these Huns, as they're known, lose money, relationships, and their dignity thanks to MLM companies. Not convinced MLMs aren't straight up predatory? Here are 10 horror stories that might change your mind. So here we go. I'm super excited for this, but I'm also a little bit, hesitant because the heartbreak of these stories do get to me. However, I'm going to try and make it fun. I am, but we're going to have to hear of some heartbreak in this. We are. So touting female empowerment. I think I finally said that word right, by the way. I used to own a gym. I'm also a full-time teacher and have 2 children, so I had a lot going on, to say the least. I was constantly stressed and overwhelmed. At that particular time, I had just moved from one building to another and my rent nearly doubled. I'm sorry to hear that. A Beachbody coach who was constantly posting about female empowerment was a member of my gym for a couple of months. She eventually quit, which was fine, but she proceeded to use all of my correspondence to reach out to all of my female clients, relentlessly via email and Facebook, you name it, and try to tell them they didn't need me as a coach and they could just do Beachbody with her. I coach weightlifting, not the same thing. Well, that's just grimy. I don't like hearing that. I don't like it when people do things that's grimy. Fortunately, none of my clients actually left, but here I was, a woman with a full-time job, kids, and the owner of an actual business, and this lady was touting female empowerment while trying to steal all my hard-earned clients. I am so sorry, Laura. I definitely understand your frustration, and she had no right. No right. Borderline harassment. I joined Revital U, which sells smart coffee and CBD oil to help you sleep. We all know how I feel about the CBD oil companies. In June 2019, and have not yet made any money. Not a dime. I was hoping I would at least get back the amount I spent to join, which was $99, but that has not happened. Everyone I sent a sample to since I started has not been interested. I know I'm supposed to keep in contact and send out emails, but that feels like borderline harassment to me. I did it a few times, but I know when someone just isn't interested. I have no idea how people are convinced they can get rich with this company. You would have to have thousands of repeat customers or a ton of ambassadors under you, which seems so sleazy to me. And it kind of is. The other thing I just want to bring up is that it is kind of borderline harassment. Hear me out. So, I've worked in sales a few times. I've had a few different sales jobs. I'm not going to tell you every single place I worked. However, I think I have in the past mentioned a few times, a few of them. And there's always kind of like a cutoff point in which you stop bothering someone. So I've worked in-person sales and I've also worked over the phone sales. And even when we have the sheets for over the phone, because you get like sheets of phone numbers and you got to call each person and then you write down if they're interested or not. And even those people, you only call them about 3 or 4 times and they say no, and then you stop. You put them in a section that says do not disturb anymore this year because they have already said no a few times and you do not want to hound them. Now, there is usually a rule of 3, like 3 no's means that's enough. So, when you are in an MLM, you don't have this rule. Instead, you are told to constantly message people. You're told that no means maybe, or maybe later, or I'm just saying no right now, but I mean yes in next week. Next week I'll say yes. So that's kind of the issue with MLMs, and that's why people get so annoyed, is because they do hound you. They do. So it is borderline harassment. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. No means no. The allergic reaction was over the top. Oh no. I fell for it. Non-toxic cleaning and no chemicals, right? Well, no, not exactly. My kids got into a spray bottle fight, and my oldest got sprayed with diluted blue diamond from Norwex. Oh no. The allergic reaction was over the top. Ugh. All right, Norwex, I'm going to have to come for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a video on Norwex, because that just angered me. I don't like it when they... Anyway, my upline had to give me detailed directions how to find the ingredients to share with the doctor. Yeah, because they're all hidden, right? Like, you have no clue how to find these things. Like, where are they? On the website somewhere. It's not on the product, probably. So it's hidden somewhere on the website. So you're in a state of panic because your child just got sprayed with stuff, okay? They're having an allergic reaction. As a mom, you're freaking, okay? Because the worst thing that can happen to a mom is something happening to their child. Take it from a mom. So you're already in a state of panic. You're like, I need to get my kid to the doctor. And on the bottle, there are no ingredients. You need to tell the doctor what your kid's been sprayed with, but there's no ingredients. So what do you have to do? Apparently, you have to get a hold of your upline, which hopefully she's available in that moment. Sometimes they're not available when you need them, by the way. And then that's part of the problem. And so you're like going there like, hey, lady, give me the ingredients so that I can get a hold of my doctor. And then she's going, oh, they're on the website. And you're like, okay, like, I'm panicking. Just tell me what the hell's in the product. Like, and it would just be the worst situation to be in, just adding more stress onto stress. I can't imagine. I am so sorry, Teresa. Like, this is just already, I'm not even done the story yet, and I'm already freaking out over it. So, I reminded my upline that this was supposed to be chemical free. I would probably be screaming that at her, because that's me. I'd be freaking out on her, like, listen, bitch, you told me this shit had no chemicals. My kid is having a reaction. You tell me what's in this right now. Because, like, you just got lied to for a bunch of months, right? Well, you're using these chemical-free products that end up not being chemical-free, and now your kid is paying the price for it, and you're mad. I get it. Their answer. Oh, God, here we go. Well, every person reacts differently. That was it. That was how I found out they were all liars. And now I can't get off their spammy email list. I'm preparing to report them to the Better Business Bureau. Teresa, do it. Do it. That's gross. I really hope that your child got the medical care that they needed and that everything is okay right now, because honestly, I'm freaking out a little bit in my head because the story just ends there. You don't even let us know. I really do hope that your kid's okay. That's like my first worry is, oh my, I hope her kid ended up getting to the doctor and everything was fine. I'm assuming so, because I think if it wasn't, that would be mentioned at least. So, whew, let's just, that's okay. That's okay. However, the fact that they are lying about them being chemical free definitely does need to be reported to the Better Business Bureau. Please do that. Please. It nearly caused me to get divorced. Me too, sis. Me too. LuLaRoe markets their products to customers like a garage sale. You had better buy it when you see it because it will be gone before you know. It's very true. They actually also will let out like special editions. Like they'll be like, there's only 100 of these pairs of pants. Tell all your customers to order them. And then they end up having to go back and tell their customers that there's none left and refund. And anyway. It's addictive and creates a culture of friends that you buy from. I'm not well off, but spent in excess of $5,000 to $8,000 over the last 3 to 4 years buying this shoddy clothing. Yes, actually, the buy-in alone to join the company used to be $5,000. I bought right into their BS story that I was helping a small business succeed. My first purchase was a pair of leggings, often is. They were really soft and I was hooked. I bought items, won items, traded, sold, and searched for my unicorn skirt for weeks. I've spent so much time and money on LuLaRoe, it nearly caused me to get divorced. I'm really sorry, but you did say nearly caused, so that I'm assuming that your marriage is great, and I'm really happy for that. I hope you got out of this company and then everything got fixed. I finally quit buying as of earlier this year, as the quality and sizing variability was just too much. Well, yeah, that's true as well. Not to mention the wasted money and the fact that you can't return but only can exchange items is overwhelming. Rachel, it's very true. It would be overwhelming, especially since a lot of times people buy a whole bunch of clothes that they can't sell, and then, you want to maybe return, but you gotta exchange. Yeah, they do it on purpose. I'm sorry, this title makes me laugh because it's like, I didn't even really like the lipstick. It's like, I know, we all look back and we go, the product wasn't worth the stress that I went through to be in this company. I was with Scene Gents Lip Sense for a year and a half. I originally joined to buy the lip color for my daughters that dance at a discount. A few people found out I was a distributor and wanted to buy it. Well, that's good. At least you had people coming to you wanting to buy it. That doesn't happen all the time. I did pretty well and hit some impressive sales goals, got some free products, and had an amazing sisterhood that was always supporting, encouraging, etc. Uh-huh. I'm sure they were. Until... But then I had a moment of clarity. Selling a firming lotion for $90, skincare for $85, mascara for $28. I didn't even really like the lipstick. The discount structure wasn't even very impressive when you pay sales tax on the retail value, plus shipping, plus your shipping costs, like mailers, cute bags, etc. Plus, there are payment processing fees through service like Square and PayPal. Yeah, I know. You're also supposed to get business cards, pay for booth rentals. Hell, they even wanted me to be contracted with David's Bridal, and it was going to be around $200 per month out of my pocket. Well, that doesn't sound very fair. I mean, if they want you to be contracted with someone, why do you have to pay? Anyway, they'd release so-called limited editions that would sell out. Yes, they do all the time. So you had to grab them before actual sales were lined up. They would be temporarily out of stock to build hype and then go out again. And the distributors were the lucky ones to pay $55 a year to be able to do this. Stephanie. I know, Stephanie, I hear ya. It's an annoying thing. And I'm sorry that you also went through an MLM. But I'm glad you saw the light. Predatory trash. I had a strange experience with MLMs many years ago when I was a makeup artist. Very frequently, over a period of time, I would be hired for makeup lessons, only to be confronted with a full sales pitch about Arbonne. Of course. In the space of 3 months, I had about a dozen bookings that tried to recruit me and use my established and trusting network to make sales. Also, many years ago, I had a boyfriend whose best friends was part of Kyanie. Ooh, I don't know that one either. I'm gonna have to write that one down. Yes, I am. This guy's wife had left a full-time job to become a Kyanie distributor, and they were inundating us with their stories about being self-employed. Of course they were. I went overseas by myself for a week. Oh, that sounds fun. I want to go on a trip by myself for a week. I need that. And returned home only to find that my boyfriend had decided to sign up to Kyanie. Yeah, lovely. He and his friend wanted me to sign up too because I'm well connected. I told him that if he wants to embarrass himself in an MLM, that's one thing. But if so, our relationship would be over immediately because I didn't spend years building my own business from scratch with a loyal and trusting client base only to be associated with this type of predatory trash. He didn't continue, but I still dumped him soon after. Chi. Well, Chi, I'm sorry that you lost your boyfriend, but at least, now you don't have to worry about him joining MLMs in future and you being stuck there. So there's that. She hadn't made any money. That tends to be the case. A coworker of mine started a new job and was so excited to tell me about it. She went on and on about the ability to earn $5,000 a month, attend luxury dinners, and go on trips. Apparently it was so easy because she was selling something that everyone needed. Isn't that what they all say, right? She hadn't made any money but spent about $1,000 on certifications and classes. She refused to tell me the name of the company. I know, right? Like, why do they do that? And asked if she could practice her pitch at my place later that day. I said, sure. Oh, why? Did you want to just make fun of her? I would have said no. Once at my house, my coworker and her sister revealed that the company was Primerica. Oh, yeah. A financial services MLM that sells life insurance. I'm going to be taking a look into that soon as well. Because, again, life insurance MLM gets me. You don't mess around with people's life insurance. Like, Mary went on about life's what ifs and the cost of burying family members. Oh my God. Like, see, this is what I mean. This is awful. This is an awful MLM. I hate it. I told her I wasn't interested in purchasing life insurance and my family isn't in the US, so it didn't matter anyway. In other words, screw off, lady. I don't want your shit. Then she asked if I wanted to make an extra $5,000 a month by selling. Like, no, I don't even want it. Why would I want to sell it? Like, listen, Mary, listen. Like, come on, get with the program. I said no. I'm not surprised. She talked for at least an hour about how I'm financially irresponsible and ignorant for not wanting to make extra money and live a more lavish lifestyle. Excuse me, Mary. You just pay attention to messing up your own life with Primerica, okay? So you don't gotta mess up KS's here. The worst part was her explaining how it's not a pyramid scheme because those are illegal. She ended up selling policies to some of the poorer kids' parents and hooked the kids to sell once they turned 18. Ah! What do you mean? Like, they're not even 18 yet, and then they're gonna sign up for... Oh no, I'm gonna have to start making, like, kids programs about how MLMs are bad so that parents can play them to their children. We're gonna have to start making, like, things to be played in the high schools so that, the teachers can play them to the students where we say, MLMs are bad, kids, don't join the MLMs, because this is getting ridiculous. What do you mean she hooked the kids to sell? Like, I gotta move on because that just got me angry. They suggested we sell our car. Oh, great. It just gets better and better. We got kids signing up. We're selling people life insurance. We got people causing divorces. We got the selling cars. Ugh. Now do you know why I do this? I do this because these people need to be safe. We can't have all this going on anymore. This is ridiculous. Do you not see this? Do you not see the pain that these companies cause? This needs to stop. Alright, so they suggested we sell our car. My husband and I were enticed into joining Amway, one of my least favorite companies in the whole world. We had 3 kids, low-paying jobs, and 1 car. We did all the stuff, attended meetings, and tried our best. Then there was some major event happening in Detroit. Our upline said we needed to be there. We live near Buffalo. We explained that we had no money for a trip, so they suggested we sell our car to make it. Our only car, despite having 3 kids and 2 jobs. It's interesting to note that the upline guy owned a used car lot and offered to sell it there. We bailed when this happened. Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer, that's interesting. That's interesting, huh? It really is. Good catch, and you're probably right. Like vultures. Yes, the Huns are like vultures. When I had announced to my friends and family on Facebook that I had been diagnosed with thyroid cancer, I received friend requests from a friend from high school's 2 sisters. I had not talked with this friend since high school, and her sisters were people I had never met. I am very, very sorry that you were diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And I am about to be very sorry, aren't I, that when you announced it to your Facebook friends, people took it as an opportunity to try to sell you products from an MLM. I know that that's where this is going because I have heard story after story after story of this happening to people. And honestly, it hurts. It hurts every time that a Hun does this to someone. Just stop this. This is the worst. Like, I hate everything about this already. Anyway, I immediately thought, oh no, they're in a pyramid scheme and they want me to join. And I was correct. And it's like, that's the last thing that you need to worry about, Chelsea, when you just got diagnosed with thyroid cancer, is having to turn down a bunch of morons trying to sell you stuff and trying to get you to join their business. You got enough going on without that, and that's why these need to stop. I added them to be courteous because and that's the thing, that's what happens, right? You don't want to look like a bad person. So you're like, okay, well, I'll add them and then we all know how this goes. And also out of morbid curiosity about how long it would take for them to descend upon me. I know a lot of us do that too because I get Hunbot friend requests all day long. I actually put out PSAs on my Facebook, like probably about once a week, where I am like, I am hunting for Hunbot posts. If you are in an MLM and you do not want to end up in one of my videos, you may want to delete me from Facebook right now. And I end up with more Hunbot requests when I do that. They want to be in my videos. So stay tuned because I got videos of all of you now. Anyway, one wrote immediately asking if I had seen her post about Plexus's pink drink. And you're like, no, I haven't. I don't care about it. The other waited a month and wrote me to introduce herself and immediately launched into asking if I'd tried Plexus and if I'd want the info on it. Their sister said nothing to me about my cancer diagnosis. And that's, I mean, here's the thing. So it's very insensitive to not be like, I'm really sorry that you were diagnosed with thyroid cancer. But at the same time, I am glad that she didn't use your cancer diagnosis to come at you with it. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like on the fence there. I don't know how to feel about that one. I don't. But clearly she told her sisters about it so they could circle around me like vultures looking for a potential cancer success story they could take credit for instead of the world-renowned hospital and doctors treating me. Oh. Yeah. That's, well, she could have at least, well, in that case, yeah, she could have at least wished you well instead of just going off to the sisters, yeah. But again, I mean, but then the sisters are worse people still for using it for the MLM, I think, than she is. Anyway. It was all so gross, and I wanted to call them out on their predatory behavior, acting like they weren't aware of my situation, but clearly trying to take advantage of it. But I just didn't want to engage at all, so I ignored it completely. And honestly, Chelsea, that's probably the best. That's the best you can do. It's not worth it. It's not worth the conversation. Like I said, you got enough going on. And I just want to put it out there that I really do hope that everything goes okay with your thyroid cancer. I hope that whatever treatment you need to do goes well. I hope that you are as cured as you can be. I hope that you are able to go on and live a fabulous life and continue ignoring these annoying Hunbots. It's siphoning what little money we have. MLMs have torn through my small, rural, and very poor community. I've seen friends, schoolmates, even my mother-in-law get sucked into these predatory companies because there are simply no opportunities for people in my community. Unless you get out early, you end up stuck here, poor, on welfare, and normally with a lot of kids. That sounds like my hometown. These companies have really targeted these low-income, bored, and very sheltered women to the point where most people in my town are involved in some sort of MLM. It's siphoning what little money we have here away from the families who need it because they've been sucked into these scams. It's actually bothered me so much that I started a semi-popular satire account at Boss Babe Mascara simply so I can direct my frustration with these companies somewhere productive. Boss Babe. Love it. I don't know if I'm following you, but I am going to come and follow you right now. And I suggest everyone else watching go and follow at bossbabe_mascara because that is really great. I love people that, come on and then fight the fight. So it says, HuffPost reached out to the companies mentioned above in response to Jennifer's story. Amway stated the company only charges a $62 registration or annual renewal fee, which covers Amway's costs related to supporting independent business owners, adding that purchasing other materials or event tickets sold by third parties is optional and voluntary. Amway does not produce or profit from these materials or events. None of the other businesses immediately responded for comment. So, yeah. And that may be the case. However, they do tell people to go to these extra training things, and I do believe that they make money off of them, especially if it is their Amway training retreats and people pay to go there. They are making a profit off of the event. I don't know what they're trying to say, but that makes no sense. And optional and voluntary, like I said, yeah, okay, fine. However, they do heavily push, and they do tell people that without them, they would not be able to be successful. So people feel obligated to go. Such is the manipulation of being in an MLM. And if you want more information on that, you can check out my series, The Manipulation of a Hunbot. And I'm going to end this here because we're done reading the article, so it makes sense, right? So I will leave the article down in the description down below if you do want to go check it out yourself. And no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, I hope that you all have a fabulous day. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, I would really appreciate it. Follow me, description, all of my social media links, although I am losing them very slowly because people don't like me on the internet. And apparently I need to get off, but that's never going to happen. So I will see you guys, of course, in my next video. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.